Did you see Rogan talking about Obama on his show recently? Ronnie, he was talking about kind of how he soured on Barack Obama and why that happened. Let's go ahead and take a look at it, and then I'll get your reaction, Ronnie.
Okay.
Obama during this Kamala Harris administration, it changed my opinion of that guy.
Really? Did you have a high opinion of him before?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did, just as an intelligent person, a statesman. But watching him just straight up lie about Trump, the thing that got me was that very fine people thing, the white supremacist thing. They just kept trying to say that he was a racist, which is this thing that I think worked in like 2017.
Yeah.
You know, I think it worked back then. I don't think it works anymore. I don't think people believe it anymore.
So there you go, Ron. Something that we talked about on this program. Obama out on the stump, campaigning, pushing hard for Kamala. As you know, the closer we got to the election, the harder he was pushing and trying to exert his influence. And he talked about the very fine people hoax just right in the closing hours of the campaign. And he knows that not to be true. Look, I know politician lies film at 11, Ron. They all lie. They all lie. There is no politician that doesn't lie sometimes, including your favorite ones. They all do it. It's a sport. There's going to be lying involved in it. There just is. But for Obama to so bald-faced lie about something that has been so thoroughly and clearly debunked, even though a wide swath of the American public isn't aware that it's been debunked, because the media, although they could debunk it in 2 seconds, the mainstream legacy media has perpetuated the narrative that they wanted, that Donald Trump was a racist. But if you go back and you watch it, as we've said many times, he explicitly states that he's not talking about white nationalists and that he's not talking about KKK members and so forth. He said that. Okay, so Obama is out there tarring the guy as a racist when he knows good and well that he's not. And I've been led to believe for most of my life that calling somebody a racist without having adequate evidence for that, without having a basis for that, is one of the worst, most cowardly, shitty pieces of character assassination that you can possibly attempt on someone. So that said a lot to me as well about Barack Obama. And I will say, as somebody that voted for Obama in 2008, I've lost a lot of respect for him as well, because that's a horrible thing to do. I think any of us to paint somebody else as a racist, and particularly to paint somebody as a racist that you've already seen the guy have 2 attempts on his life. So you want to talk about kicking somebody while they're already in a dangerous situation to go out and try to stoke hatred towards someone even more. I just thought that it was a real bad look for Barack Obama, and I agree with Rogan here.
It was a bad look for Obama, but I just think Obama is akin to an athlete in a sporting event, a football player that's, you ever hear somebody say, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. Well, somebody might try to, an offensive lineman might hold, but we've got a referee there to say you're holding and throw a flag on it. Well, the media, who how I feel about the media is the devil. They're the kind of referee here, and they are blatantly staring at holding, and they're just not calling it because they want that team to win. That's what it feels like. The media has an opportunity.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
How else do you explain it, Ron? I mean, all you have to do is watch the next 60 seconds of what Trump says after the very fine people comment. If you have any doubt about what he meant, all you got to do is watch the next 60 seconds. Yeah. If a Democrat had stepped in it by saying something that could have been construed negatively like that and then clarified what they meant a minute later, all we would have seen was the clarification. over and over and over again until everybody in America had seen the fucking clarification and they had helped them clean it up. And that's what they should have done if it had been a Democrat who misspoke or said something. I mean, Trump didn't even misspeak. He just said something that, like a lot of things, was open to a creative negative interpretation if that's what you wanted to assume. And so if it happens to anybody, right or left, the media, the only job they have is to tell us what happened and tell it to us in the most accurate, balanced way that they possibly can. And they willfully misled the public. And they've done it ever since 2017, and they allowed it to happen right up to the election, and were content to do it. They have no credibility. They have no honor. They have no reason to be believed. When Elon Musk said, "You're the media now," that is and if he's right, that is potentially one of the great pivotal moments in the history of how Americans consume information, Ron, because we've gotten to a point now where I don't know if the legacy media is ever going to clean it up. I do think that they're going to try to be somewhat more fair to Trump now, because as they read Trump's popularity and they start to see this, I think they're going to have to treat him at least somewhat more fairly than they have. But I don't know, man. I think people are losing their faith in the mainstream media, in the legacy media. And if they don't clean it up fast, their reputation is going to be tarnished, Ron, past the point of it being reparable, I would say.
Oh, I think I disagree with you. I don't think it might happen. I think it has happened. I think the fact that the referees were on their side and Trump still won, I think that shows that there's been a huge shift in how people think and where people consume their media. I think it's over for them. I really, really do. Like I have no reason to believe that they're ever going to tell me the truth again. They proved for, gosh, it feels like 8 years. It was just so one-sided, and I don't see how, me personally, I'm never going to trust them again.
Nor am I, man. As I said to you last week, I don't trust the FDA. I don't trust, if the government is telling me anything, I'm just like, well, you know what? I just don't have any. I mean, I don't know. Should I believe it? I've lost faith in what the government says. I've lost faith in what the media says. And so we need an era of transparency. And we'll see how much transparency we get